to Health Patrol, where happy people come from healthy food. I'm your host, Vinay Kanva. Milk is good for your bones. You hear it all the time. It's in children's health forums, at the dinner table, and heck, I'm even sure kids would talk about it too, if they're cared about their health. However, does dairy actually live up to that name? Is that claim true? And what about the other things about dairy, such as does dairy help weight loss, and is pasteurization actually good? I'll answer these questions and many more in today's lesson, Dairy, and Dairy. Before we can answer these questions, we must understand the history of the dairy industry. It began with the Puritans, who came to America. They established farms that made dairy for home and local use. As a result, these weren't mass-produced, and they were healthy. But on the same token, big businesses could not make money off of them. But that changed in the 1800s, during the Industrial Revolution. Many people flocked to the cities, and as a result, dairy was mass-produced to meet those crowds. And after that, dairy interest skyrocketed, especially during World War II. Soldiers who needed dairy to survive could not get them from the farmers because they could not produce enough to meet the demand. As a result, the government, in an effort to try to create the demand, marketed it to children. And after this marketing to children, farmers began to produce more and more, and they're still producing today. Dairy interest skyrocketed, and the money made off of it was extremely profitable. The dairy industry is one of the most powerful industries that is currently lobbying Congress. But over the years, concerns have been raised over whether dairy actually lives up to its name. Companies have made many claims in order to try to stay in business on dairy. One of these claims, which is already withdrawn, is dairy causes weight loss. This is false because milk is designed for a young offspring of dairy-producing animals, such as a cow, a goat, etc. As a result, it's designed that way. It contains fat, vital nutrients, and other things. However, adults are fully grown people and they don't need it. And children don't need it either because they already have growth hormone, IGF-1. As a result, all that's going to do is increase this. The second thing, which the dairy industry has claimed, is that dairy prevents osteoporosis, which is bone breaking. However, that's not actually true because studies, which have not really been released to the public, have shown that dairy had either no significant impact, no impact at all, or even a negative impact on it. So dairy is completely useless for that. And you may have learned this in science class that pasteurization is very good for milk because it destroys all the bad bacteria and pathogens. However, along with that, it's also destroying the probiotics and the enzymes that you need to digest with it. As a result, when your body ingests milk and those enzymes aren't there, the calcium in the milk ends up as plaque. And that plaque can cause many things, such as heart disease. And yogurt contains cultures or probiotics, which I have just mentioned before. And some people could say, well, you can only get that from yogurt. That's not true. You can get it from sauerkraut and coconut kefir, both of which are plant-based sources. And that's not even adding hormones, how cows, goats, and other animals are treated, and many other events that happen to these organisms. Cows and goats and other dairy-producing animals are treated horribly on the farms. They're forced to continually produce milk, those females, and the males are killed because they can't produce milk. And that's not even considering that females are continually forced to reproduce. Add to that RBGH and RBST, plus a large amount of other hormones that are added. Both of those hormones, RBGH, recombinant bovine growth hormone, and recombinant bovine somatotrophin, are intended to make the cow produce more and more milk, which isn't healthy for the cow, but it's not healthy for us either. Now that I've listed my huge list of criticisms against dairy, what should you substitute? For milk, you could substitute coconut, almond, and oat milk. But you see, I put in blue here, carrageenan-free. And the reason is because even in organic vegan milk, carrageenan is still allowed, and carrageenan is a carcinogen, and it can infect your colon. So ensure that you get carrageenan-free, conventional or organic, coconut almond, or oat milk. I'll talk about conventional and organic food in another video. For cheese, you can substitute a lot of vegan cheeses. There are a lot now on the market, such as Miyoko's or another one. And for yogurt and cultures, you can substitute sauerkraut and coconut kefir. And the reason I put coconut in blue is because kefir is a traditionally milk beverage. However, if you make it with coconut milk, it's a really healthy plant source of your calcium. And that's not even to mention that olive oil and other vegetables contain calcium too. And pumpkin seeds have it too. So you see, it's really easy to phase milk out of your diet. And that's if you want optimal health and you want to phase it out completely. If you can't imagine your life without one piece of cheese or one bottle of milk, well then don't consume too much of it. And please try to avoid cheese because cheese is addictive and you will keep wanting to consume it more and more. And that can lead to the vicious cycle, which is bad health. Keep eating more. You take a drug, doesn't help, and which leads to more bad health. The vicious cycle which you want to avoid. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to find out more information about this, go to my very green website, which definitely is pesticide free, www.healthpatrol.org. Once again, I'm your host, Vinay Kalva. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you next time on Health Patrol, where happy people come from healthy food.